All right, hello and welcome to another BR YouTube video. Finally, we're back. We've had a long San Francisco with a few streams here and there, but unfortunately not so much content to produce. We weren't exactly on the winning side in our wars, and as much as you could post videos about that and the attempts, I felt like I couldn't push content on that. It just, it wouldn't have been quality content that anyone would have wanted to look at, right? Um, have been thinking about doing some debriefs and stuff like that from San Fran, but let me know if you want to see anything like that. But so far, I'm just gonna try and kind of stick to the theoretical side of the game a little bit until we get into the next San Fran. So, in this video, I wanted to take a look at, well, as you see, we have some new units in the game, right? So from last video to this video, we've got an update 5.0, got new units. They go all the way up to 9.2 modern units. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's a good update in my opinion, actually. I'm quite happy about it. Oh yeah, but anyways, back to what the video is about. So in this video, I want to talk, or I want to start a new series actually. I want to start a new series, doing unit breakdowns. Um, Literally talking about the unit and what it can do, the three camps that it has, what the differences are, kind of looking at what's going on there. Okay, so in this first video, we're gonna take a look at pretty much an obvious one, the MBT, the new main battle tank. So you get it from modernizing either a heavy tank or a medium tank, and this unit is super versatile. It's super good, and in the new update, they have um, they've all got siege bonuses, meaning they can do more damage against bases. That makes them super good, right? They're super fast. They do a lot of damage. They can take a lot of damage. They have armor. There's a lot of things here, right? This unit is actually really super versatile, really good at doing whatever it needs to be doing. Obviously, now on the field, there's going to be a lot of main battle tanks, right? Because it's two tanks literally formed into one. So anyone that had a heavy, anyone that had a medium, will now have an MBT, right? Whereas before, or well, anyone that has an RD will have an RD, but like you can't transfer an ATG into an RD either, right? So, um, anyways, the medium tank, or the MBT, main battle tank is what it's called, is a super good unit, right? There's a few differences between the camps. So let's start with the Liberty camp. That's the one I have. Um, if you look at it at the features right here, right? So this kind of gives us the show and tell of everything we need to know about the tank. Um, it counters the light tanks. Let me tell you, it counters a lot of other tanks, right? RDs die super quick. Um, Rocket trucks die super quick. ATGs die super quick. It does say countered by super heavy tanks, but I'm gonna be honest with you, if you play it right, I'm pretty sure you can outbeat a super heavy tank. Helicopters as well counter them. The problem is if the helicopter is too high, it's going to overpen the armor on the tank, right? So then it's going to do minus 50% damage, or well, 50% less damage than it would have when it penetrates, right? So then I'm pretty sure if you're in that situation, you might get the kill on the helicopters. So, this tank is just super good. The thing is, you can use it as a new super heavy. It might not work exactly as well, and you might see a few more losses, but it has enough durability to be able to tank a base. Um, right? Because you kind of get the durability of a heavy tank, but you also get the firepower of a medium tank. But yeah, anyways, so as it says, it's an all-rounder. It's a siege, or main battle tanks, or get siege attributes, meaning that they do extra damage to buildings, fortifications, as it says, bunkers, anything that there's a building, right? What the Liberty medium gets, in addition to everything else, is it gets the rabbit production, means it just um, it produces faster when you replenish the troop, so it trains faster. That's the whole thing, right? It gets a velocity boost, which means it gets higher speed. We can take a look at how much higher that speed is by literally looking right here, right? So this is 52 on this unit on the Liberty. If we just take over here, this is 46, right? So that's 6 kilometers an hour faster that the medium gets. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty balanced unit. This is kind of in between durability and damage, right? So if we take a look at the Vanguard side of things, this is probably my personal favorite. If you look at it, it gets the same rapid production that you get from the Liberty one, meaning it trains faster, right? And it's exactly the same speed, so as the Liberty one, that also gets that buff. What it also gets is it enhanced firepower, so a lot higher firepower, right? So it's 760k firepower on the default unit. On a Liberty, 731k. So already there, that's 30k more firepower, but that's unbuffed, right? This is literally the unit without any mods, anything. This is just the pure 8-star unit right here with the 8-star stats that any pure 8-star unit would get. Obviously it's level 200, but that's it, right? But yeah, it gets really super good firepower buffs, and it's going to increase over time, or it's going to increase as you put on more mods, more parts, more research and everything, right? So that makes it super really good. And then you get armor reinforcement, which means it has higher armor than main battle tanks from the other camps. So suddenly you get a tank that does more damage and in itself is harder to kill, and it trains faster. Um, those are incredible buffs for such a tank, right? So that's really my go-to out of all of these. And it doesn't hurt that this tank is actually pretty beautiful, isn't it? Oh yeah, but then we have martyrs. So what can martyrs bring to the table? Martyrs get repair. You might think, okay, what does that mean? It says martyrs watch main battle tanks automatically regain durability after combat. It doesn't tell you how much. It doesn't tell you anything about anything. What I've found is it very much works like having the officer, like having Spanner. He has this passive skill that recovers durability per second while in the field. It very much works like that, and it's quite equal to, well, it's pretty much exactly the same because these are the same. That also Bloody Mary gets. She also gets the 1% durability per second while in the field. So that's pretty much what the Martyr's Watch can do. Let's see what else it brings to the table. Strengthened durability, right? So it repairs and it has more durability than the other camps. It's harder to kill. It doesn't have more armor, but still, it's harder to kill, right? So, what can you use all of this information for? Um, you can use this information to kind of um, look at how to best set up the unit, right? If you look at my Liberty unit, I run it with War Machine and Tip of the Spear. I find this brings some kind of balance between Tip of the Spear, who brings both firepower but also damage resist and blast damage resist. And then you obviously have War Machine, which is just pure damage, right? So I pump out a lot of damage, but I still get a little bit of protection for the unit so that it can last longer in battle as well. Um, it's a little bit harder to parry the Liberty, I'd say, because it's balanced and kind of in the middle of everything. But if you look at a unit like the Vanguard one, I would pair it with War Machine and then Guardian of Truth. When you look at Guardian of Truth, he is probably the ultimate damage dealer. Um, he increases the skill damage of the troop. He has already incredibly high skill damage on his own. Um, he still gets those damage resist buffs, right? The firepower bonus, and in the end, the pin damage, right? So it's still, look at this, right? So you get pen depth right here, 261 millimeters. against the armor. So pretty much when you're running this unit, it can pen any unit of its own, right? So main battle tanks can pen its own units. At the same time, um, on smaller super heavies, it can still pen, right? So what happens on the pen depth is there was a chart a long time ago. I don't know if that's still true, but that chart said that within the armor range, right? So 261.3 millimeters, if you went plus 50% of that, anything plus 50% of that, you could pen. Anything minus 50% of that, you could pen. But if you go above those or below those percentages, plus minus the 50%, if you go more than that, the unit underpens, right? So if it penetrates, it does 150% damage. If it doesn't pen, it just does 100 damage. If it goes above those damage values or those penetration armor values, then it does 50% damage, right? So it severely cuts off the damage. So if you get a higher pen depth on that MBT, you might start looking at actually penning some of the super heavy tanks. However, this one that I'm showcasing is my own personal one. It's not very good. You look at the higher ones, right? They get a lot of armor, but you're pretty much still within that 50% value range of penning the unit. And that's really going to help you because you do so much more damage against the units or your damage potential, right? Because a pen isn't a guaranteed thing, but you have a chance of penetrating, right? And when you penetrate, you do more damage, and when you do more damage, you kill the unit faster. That's how it goes. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much all there is about the unit. Um, there's oh yeah, officer setups. Obviously, I never got to that. Right. So I have mine set up like this. You have the van. You could set it up with my personal recommendation would be Guardian of Truth and War Machine. That just brings out a lot of damage, an incredible amount of damage actually. Um, and it still gives you from Guardian of Truth a little bit of damage resist durability. All right. So then the last thing, what would you do if you had the Martyrs one? We saw that the Martyrs one had a lot of durability, had the heal, and stuff like that. So I would say you could bring, if you don't have a super heavy, bring a spanner on there, bring a steel fighter on there. You could even bring a Bloody Mary on there, right? What I'm really kind of working with here is if you put on a spanner, you get healing, you get durability, you get healing, and you get this. So suddenly you get 2% base heal in the field. If you add Bloody Mary to that in that combo as the second officer, you get speed, you get more damage, and you also get another percentage of heal in the field. So suddenly you get 3% heal in the field per second. So that's incredible for how fast that unit is going to heal up. It might not be the difference in life or death if you're on a base mission and you're killing bases, but when you're going up against other units, you can back off, heal, and then engage. Back off, heal, and then engage, right? So that kind of strategy could definitely work for some people. Um, you can pair it in the field super easily. We've seen people pair a new meta right now is pairing it with literally 3 other field units. Um, that's why the medium is just so good. It's super fast, right? So you can pair it with units that are equally fast. You can pair it with a rocket truck. You make the medium go in front, put the rocket truck a few grids behind with an Anto. While the medium is fighting anything out here, the rocket truck can stand in the back lines and just absolutely hammer out its damage, right? While the medium is just soaking up a little bit of damage out here. Paired with a light as well. Now you have three ground units that can just work incredibly well together. You got air cover. You have a plane as well, so the rocket truck doesn't get killed in the field. Suddenly, you're a one-man army. Um, Start looking at pairing all of that with the advanced combat research for the tanks, and you get some incredible buffs down the line. um, 5% chance of dealing an additional 200% damage, right? That's every time the tank attacks. If you're if you're on that Vanguard tank with a lot of damage, you put on um, you put on War Machine, you get a lot of load speed buffs. When you get load speed, you attack more, so you get a higher chance of dealing those 200%. And then you add Guardian of Truth, and he also deals an incredible amount of damage. So suddenly you're looking at a unit that will just produce incredible damage values against any other unit pretty much on the field. That's why the MBT, I think, is going to be very much meta, right? And you look at it and it can still take down bases. It can do anything. So the tip of this video, invest in a MBT, a medium or a main battle tank. Get that, and then you can go and pretty much do anything in this game. It will be a safe bet for you. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Go rock and roll with that one. See how it feels, and then come back in the next video. We're gonna probably take a deep dive into the artillery units, the modern artillery units. As you can see, I've gone pretty hard. 8.1, my artillery unit. And we're gonna be talking a lot about that in the next video. So peace out. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the video. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see some other content. If you have any ideas, I am glad to hear it. I am open to hear it. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a very good day. See you around.